What's up everybody, Looster here, and today we're back in the northwest on the West Coast Mainline, on the Manchester branch part of the West Coast Mainline. The train is now departing is 15143, which is formerly 1257 Northern service to Buxton from Manchester Piccadilly. This did bring me in from Manchester Piccadilly, 15143. And yes, I did ride a 150 for once. But yes, today we are back up in the northwest. We are back out on the West Coast Mainline, on the Manchester branch part of the West Coast Mainline. And yes, today we are here at Levenshulme, which is on the signs there. So then, today here at Levenshulme, we will be seeing services by Northern, Avanti West Coast, TransPennine Express, East Midlands Railway, Cross Country and Transport for Wales as well. This is a similar station to Heaton Chapel, which I'm also doing today, and also now passing through is going to be our first passing train of today, which will be an Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino, which is formerly 1358, Avanti West Coast service to London Euston from Manchester Piccadilly. Is on this. $391.52 starts off with the 1358 Avanti West Coast service to London Euston from Manchester Piccadilly with $391.52, and that led to its next stop of Stockport. And as that heads down the West Coast Mainline, I shall see you all when the next train comes here at Levenshulme, everybody. Now passing through is going to be a cross-country Voyager this time. This is forming the 1406 cross-country service to Bournemouth from Manchester Piccadilly with a cross-country Voyager. So then, 221122 with a nice tow passes through. This cross-country 221 passes through with the 1406 cross-country service to Bournemouth from Manchester Piccadilly with 221122. As that heads to Stockport now as its next stop, I shall see you all what happens next. Now passing through is going to be a Transport for Wales Class 197, which is forming the 1309 Transport for Wales service to Manchester Piccadilly from Carmarthen with a 197. 197021. Passes through now with the 1309 Transport for Wales service to Manchester Piccadilly from Milford Haven, and then also before this passed through, another Transport for Wales Class 197 did pass through, but it was on the Manchester Airport Junction. That was heading to Manchester Airport from Llandudno, that other 197. And as this 197 heads up to Manchester Piccadilly now, I'll see you all when the next train comes here at Levenshulme, everybody. Now arriving in is going to be the 1311 Northern service to Crewe from Manchester Piccadilly with a Class 323 for Northern. This is now arriving in with the 1311 Northern service to Crewe from Manchester Piccadilly. Now then, will this be ex-West Midlands or a proper Northern unit? So then, 323243 now arrives in, and this is an ex-West Midlands Railway unit. (323243) now arrives in with the 1311 Northern service to Crewe from Manchester Piccadilly, and as that now boards, I shall see you all when this Northern Class 323 departs. Now departing is going to be the 1311 Northern service to Crewe from Manchester Piccadilly with 323243. Listen to the motors. 23243 heads off now with the 1311 Northern Service to Crewe from Manchester Piccadilly with train motors that sound so cute and nice. And then also now arriving in is going to be a Northern Class 156 and 150. Messing up my words there. This is now arriving in with the delayed 1308 Northern Service to Manchester Piccadilly from Hazel Grove with a 156 and a 150. So then 156441 comes up goods on the front. And also now passing through is going to be an Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino with the 1312 Avanti West Coast service to Manchester Piccadilly from London Euston, and as this 156 now boards, as you see us all when this Northern 156 departs. Now departing is going to be the delayed 1308 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Buxton with 156441 at the front. Lovely tone! And 15224 comes up goods at the rear. This Northern 156 and 150 departs now with the delayed 1308 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly. Also now passing through is going to be 15106. And 156422 at the rear. This came unexpectedly as this Northern 150 and 156 passes through now with the 1314 Northern service to Chester from Manchester Piccadilly. This will go via Altrincham. And then 156441 and 150224 depart now with a great tone off the 156. And as those two trains head to their respective destinations of, even though they are sprinters, both of them, I shall see us all when the next train comes here at Levenshulme, everybody. Now passing through on the fast lines is going to be a Transpennine Express Class 185, which is formerly 1317 Transpennine Express service to Cleethorpes from Liverpool Lime Street, and this is actually passing through on the slow lines, apologies, not the fast. This is going to be a single Class 185 this time. But 185145 does the job. Does pass through now with the 1318 Transpennine Express service to Cleethorpes from Liverpool Lime Street, and as that heads for its next stop of Stockport, I shall see us all what happens next here at Levenshulme, everybody. Now passing through is going to be another Northern Class 150, which is formerly 1320 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Chester, and this is passing through on the slow lines this time. This Northern 150 is formerly 1320 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Chester, sorry. Anyways, 15123 is on this. Passes through now with the 1320 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Chester. And I did start messing up my words again. But as that heads off, I shall see us all what happens next. Now arriving in is going to be the 1327 Northern service to Buxton from Manchester Piccadilly. This is going to be a double Northern Class 156, which is formerly 1327 Northern service to Hazel Grove from Manchester Piccadilly. And apologies when I said Buxton, it was actually going Hazel Grove. But anyways, 156425 is at the front. This is a double Northern 156. And as these double pair in the 156 is now aboard, I shall catch the rear set of this when this departs. Now departing is going to be the 1327 Northern service to Hazel Grove, from Manchester Piccadilly, with 156425 at the front and 156426 comes up goods on the rear. And this is actually going to Hazel Grove, not Buxton. I don't know why I said Buxton, but it was actually going Hazel Grove, apologies. Whereas 156425 and 156426 heads off now to its next stop of Heaton Chapel. I shall see us all when the next train comes here at Levenshulme, everybody. Now passing through is going to be another cross-country Voyager. This is formerly delayed 1322 cross-country service to Manchester Piccadilly from Bournemouth. Couldn't catch the numbers on that, but this is formerly delayed 1322 cross-country service to Manchester Piccadilly from Bournemouth. I couldn't catch the number on that Voyager, but also now passing through the other way is going to be another cross-country Voyager. This is off to Bristol Temple Meads this time from Manchester Piccadilly with another cross-country Voyager. Anyways, 221132 is on this. 221132 heads off now with the 1329 cross-country service to Bristol Temple Meads from Manchester Piccadilly. And as that heads to its next stop of Stockport, I shall see us all what happens next, what other action we shall get here at Levenshulme, everybody. Now arriving in is going to be the 1330 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Crewe with a class 331. This time, this Northern 331 now arrives in with the 1330 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Crewe. Anyways, 331107 is on this Northern class 331 with the 1330 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Crewe. And then another Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino does pass through now. And as this Northern 331 now arrives in, I shall see us all when this departs. Now departing is going to be the 1330 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Crewe. And then also just now passed through was a double East Midlands Railway class 158, which is also forming as 1330. East Midlands Railway service to Liverpool Lime Street from Norwich. And then this Northern 331 is off now to Manchester Piccadilly with 331107. now departs with the 1313 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Crewe, and then the East Midlands Railway 158 was forming the 1330 East Midlands Railway service to Liverpool Lime Street. I didn't get the front, but the rear was 158865. But as this Northern 331 heads up to its next and final stop of Manchester Piccadilly, I shall see us all when the next train comes here at Levenshulme, everybody. Now passing through is going to be another Transport for Wales Class 197. which is going to now pass through with the 1332 Transport for Wales service to Milford Haven, I think. I'm not too sure, I think so. But this Transport for Wales 197 is forming the 1332 service. So then 197021 is on this. 197021 heads off now with the 1332 Transport for Wales service to Milford Haven from Manchester Piccadilly. And as this heads off now, I shall see us all what happens next here at Levenshulme, everybody. Now arriving in is going to be the 1314 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Buxton, with another 150 and 156. This Northern 150 and 156 now arrives in with the 1340 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Buxton. So then 15115 is at the front. And then I will catch the 156 bit when this departs. Now departing is going to be the 1314 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Buxton, 15115. And 156406 is on the rear. This Northern 150 and 156 depart now with the 1340 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Buxton, 150 115 and 156 406. And then also now arriving in is going to be a Northern Class 323 this time. And this will form the 1342 Northern service to Alderley Edge from Manchester Piccadilly with a Class 323 this time. So then, what do we have on this Northern Class 323? 323 225. And as this Northern 323 now arrives in, I shall see us all when this departs. Now departing is going to be the 1342 Northern service to Alderley Edge from Manchester Piccadilly with 323 225. 323 225 now departs with the 1342 Northern service to Alderley Edge, and then now passing through is going to be another Northern Class 323 this time. This will now pass through with the 1345 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Stoke-on-Trent. So then 323 229 is on this. Now passes through with the 1344 Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly from Stoke-on-Trent with 323 229. And as that is his next stop and final stop of Manchester Piccadilly, I shall see us all what happens next here at Levenshulme. Now passing through is going to be an East Midlands Railway double class 158 this time, with the 1351 East Midlands Railway service to Norwich from Liverpool Lime Street, with a double East Midlands Railway class 158. So then, at the front is 158783. And 158812 is at the rear. This double East Midlands Railway 158 is off now with the 1351 East Midlands Railway service to Norwich from Liverpool Lime Street, and as that heads off to its next stop at Stockport, I shall see us all for our next and final train of today here at Levenshulme. Now passing through is going to be our final train of today, which will be a Northern Class 323, which is forming the 1353 Northern service to Stoke-on-Trent from Manchester Piccadilly. This is passing through on the fast lines. Anyways, 323203 is on this. 323203 now passes through in a hurry with the 1353 Northern service to Stoke-on-Trent from Manchester Piccadilly, and as that heads down the West Coast Mainline, we shall conclude today's video here at Levenshulme. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe as always. Now then, this station is similar to Heaton Chapel, which I will be doing next. But yes, this and Heaton Chapel I do like. I will be going to Heaton Chapel next anyway. But yes, nothing really to say about Levenshulme. But yes, anyways, that's for me here at Levenshulme. I shall see you all next time in the Heaton Chapel video. Peace out.